Hello, hello. Good morrow. It is I. I have come to announce new music that came out today. It's called Take on the World. It's out now on Bygor. And I wanted to present it to you today. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be playing this for you guys. There's a little premiere here live on YouTube. And I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm going to add it as a media source so it's easier to gather. Well, as a window capture. Window capture, yes. I need... Doesn't see it. Oops. Let's delete it. Well, you guys are doing great. I'm going to be playing this music, and I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm going to be playing it about 3 times. Alrighty? Let's do it. Oh, and 1 second. Hope you guys are enjoying the new music. I am almost done with my fries. Once they're done, I'm gonna go straight into Ableton and start producing. But other than that, I'm gonna just finish this up real quick. I'll let you guys enjoy it. My new track, right? All right. One thing. I gotta mute myself. Alrighty. That was Take on the World. It released today. I'm done eating my fries. I'm sweating a little bit because I obviously had to just headbang. So give me a minute to calm down. I'm gonna go over to number 3. Christ. All right. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the music. Obviously, the stream is not ending right now. One second. You guys can hear me? Oh. Can you guys hear me now? There we go. Fixed it. Sorry about that. Everything's good now? We good? We Gucci? We Gucci? We Gucci? Everyone's here? Everyone can hear me normally now? Sweet. Yeah, my microphone just seems to have disconnected. I gotta catch some fan air right now. 1 second. Oh. Holy crap. So in Germany we have I don't know if they also exist in other countries, but in Germany we have a food delivery company called Lieferando or Lieferando, whatever you say in German, however you say it, and they are kind of infamous for whenever you need your food to actually arrive on time, they just take forever. And it's really annoying. So, yeah, I gotta... Wait a second, I gotta turn this shit down a little bit. There we go. I had to turn down the microphone just a bit because it was never actually getting out the background noise. That was a bit annoying. I gotta take some more air. Holy crap. Just the combination of headbanging and eating fries just does not work. I mean, it is a cool concept though. If I were to ever run a festival, I would just give them curry sausage and fries, because the shit that I just had was bussin'. Alright, I'm gonna leave this on 1. Hopefully it's not too loud in the background. We should be fine. I'll be right back. So, yeah, I hope everyone's been doing great. I've been doing great. I had a lot of stuff to catch up on, but I finally did it. Let me... I'm a little bit to the left, right? A little bit to the left. I'll fix that right now. We will get started with the production. Rufia Uncle Production. Put the fan right in front of the mic. Just ask any online game party member ever. They'll confirm it's good. Hello, Supernatural. Hello. I can't read that name right pedals are heel, twisters, hitesh, wowland, silocyte, 5 steps, of course, and works. Alistair, welcome. Dubstep today. Hope you guys are doing great. I'm doing great. Finished up my fries. I am a happy man. I would say we would start. Oh, is my microphone? My mic fucked again? Yeah. All right, we fixed. We good? I think we're good. Okay. Sorry, mic broke again. Yeah, I just had to properly replug it in. Cool. So, with that being said, let's get into new cool stuff. Of course, last stream I showed you guys my Panda Eyes remix that I released last week. And then this week I'm giving you guys a new dubstep banger that you can just scroll back to the beginning of the stream. You'll be able to hear it there. But today I wanted to talk about 2 things, which was the sample pack for Patreon that came out this month, which was delayed about 3 weeks because I had COVID and I had a festival show in Rampage, so I had to prepare a bunch of music and that took a whole lot of time, so I had to delay the sample pack. But it is done, it is finally here, and I'm so excited not to just release it, but to also start using it myself, because I am a sucker for effects, and the ones that I made here I'm just gonna start abusing, like in every mix. It's really cool. I'm gonna show you guys all of the effect samples that I have in this pack, and hopefully you guys will like them. Hopefully it was worth the wait. So that, with that being said, my hungry ass is not hungry anymore, so we can start the stream now. I need to like order Lieferando like 3 hours before I stream, not just 1 hour. There it is. It sounded like you just plugged it in. A pretty easy fix, yeah. Wait, is my mic fine again? Yes, it's fine, right? Fine, yeah. If you haven't seen that stream, check it out. Also, today in the mail, a really cool pedal arrived. A very special pedal. I'm going to show you guys this pedal because it's really cool. So this is the... I'm going to go to GPTR effects. Where is it? Right here. Oh, this is all... Okay, this is actually all in English, which is good. So, funnily enough, if for any of the synth heads out there, I wanted to show you one little discovery that I made. I'm going to close this up. Everything's working? Perfect. This thing right here, it looks... Okay, looks expensive. It's a new... I think you can get it on Reverb as well. They have a discount code here for 30%, which is really cool. I have to give them a shout out. I was just in a call with them today as well. I have to give them a shout out because they're the... it seems like literally they're the only ones who, for some reason, were able to make a actual saturator, like an analog pedal saturator. So you guys know that I have my Microfreak and my Zoom pedal, and I have some effects on there, but what I do not have is feasible distortion. Now, you can go ahead and Google, like, distortion pedal online. You can search them up on Toman, on Reverb, on whatever. And the thing is, all of these, they're great, but all of them, like literally all of them, do some kind of EQing. They are either too strong, they're doing too much, they're asymmetrical distortion, and asymmetrical distortion matters, and there's a good reason why. Or, you know, they cut out the lows, they cut out the highs, they add some weird peaks in the middle. They just do too much. They just doing too much, right? But this pedal right here, this Jive Real Saturated, it just came in the mail today. I think it took like a month for them to send it out, but it finally arrived, and I just ordered a second one because I needed it in stereo. This is, as you can see, it's mono. But if you have one of these, a Turia Microfreak, if you have any synth, and that synth does not come with any sort of distortion, or you want, for example, with the Zoom pedal, you have a really, really cool effect. It's called the Zoom pedal. 1 second, I have a little hair there. It's called multi. what was it called again? Not multi-stomp. Dual comp. That's it. Dual comp. Images. Maybe I'll find the effect somewhere over here. Probably not. I mean, it's very, very specific. Bass drive. Nope. Nope. Anyways, so the zoom pedal has everything that you need besides distortion. It's $100 as well, so you can basically... It's really cool because you can have the material microphone, you can load up your own wavetables, and then you can have one or two of these zoom pedals. So I have the gray one and the blue one, because if I want to do reverb and stuff after doing a lot of processing, then it's feasible to have two of them, so because you can only have a maximum of 6 effects on each. The cool part is, though, is that you can, on the Arturia microphone, you can have your own wavetables, which is incredible. So you can actually make like feasible bass sounds on this. And so that can run into your pedal. And then this can have, for example, one thing that I started using a ton, and I even like kind of ported that over to Snap Heap with the Colored stuff, is the modulatable filter. And what's really, really cool about that one is that it's basically just reacting to volume. So you can just automate, or you can modulate the volume on your Arturia Microfreak. And then you can have like a bandpass filter, for example, kind of like an envelope follower on the zoom pedal, follow it, and then you can have some really, really like high quality sound. You have a multi-band compression effect on the zoom, so it has like, you can kind of get that OTT sound there as well. You have an EQ, like a parametric EQ, everything on there. And it has delays, reverbs, everything, chorus, phasers, stereo phasers, it's flangers. You can even turn off the modulation on the flanger and then actually just get like a pure resonant sound. It's amazing. The thing is, though, one thing that I was looking for that I just could never find was a distortion pedal that did not fuck up my sound. Because all of these are meant for guitars, of course. It's a pedal, right? It's meant for guitars. But the thing is, and let me actually go like this so I can see the chat there. 1 second. There we go. Real-time envelope on pedal. Yeah. So it's so the thing is, obviously, this zoom pedal is probably like a DSP pedal, so which means it has it's actually like digital in a sense. So it goes from analog to digital and then back to analog. But I was not able to find any distortion pedal that just did not fuck up your sound. So, for example, with a synth, if we have like a bass with a wavetable and some filtering and stuff, and we're pushing everything back up with the multiband compression, we don't want to use a distortion effect at the end that removes the sub. Right? That's not the point. And funnily enough, all of the distortion effects on the zoom pedals, the biggest thing you don't want to happen is you don't want your synth going into your audio interface. So, for example, I have the complete audio 2. That's the one I have. Funnily enough, I actually have 2, so I can have one for the synth. So the thing is, and the way I can kind of explain this is, your microfreak will go into the zoom pedal, and the zoom pedal goes into the interface. The issue is whatever goes in here and starts clipping, like if it goes above the threshold, it's just digital clip. It sounds like ass. It sounds like ass. It's just digital clip. It doesn't sound good. And the thing is that there is no distortion pedal that acts as a sort of like soft clipper, like a wave shaper, right? You can type it in, soft clipper pedal. It does not exist. It does not exist because soft clipping seems to be more of a digital phenomena, I guess. I don't know why. But again, coming back to the Jive Real Saturator, this one is actually bonkers. So the second, let me find it here. There's a technical space manual. Don't know that. Save it somewhere. Don't care. So this is the manual. This actually, funnily enough, this turned out to be wrong. This gain knob here is a 40 decibel boost. But this pedal here has 3 different clipping modes. It has clipping in mode 1, clipping mode 2, and clipping mode 3. And once you turn these on, the main clipping that's happening in the pedal itself. So it's like so the thing is, one issue with this is that both clipping mode 1, clipping mode 3 is actually kind of fine, but without clipping any of these clipping modes on, it's still saturating, which is good. But with clipping mode 1, you have asymmetrical distortion, which can be cool, and in a lot of like growly sounds, it sounds really cool. Like asymmetrical is basically where you get that kind of like soy distortion, where it's like distorting one side more than the other in the polarity, the waveform cycle. And the thing is that clipping mode 2, this is the holy grail of saturation pedals. Clipping mode 2 activates a symmetrical 1N4001 silicon diode. This actually just behaves like a wave shaper. It's crazy. And the crazy part is that it has obviously an output volume, and it actually clips it. Like it clips it inside of the pedal. And you can turn on the volume so it never actually clips into your interface, which is like a thing that you don't really think about, but like you don't ever want the digital clipping distortion from your audio interface to happen. And with this plugin, with this pedal, it's not a plugin, you can make sure that that never happens. So if you have a synth, right, any kind of like synth, and you want to like start producing or like making sounds outside of the DAW, I highly recommend this thing. You can get it for like $100. It's really cool. And I'm getting a second one so I can have stereo output. I'm going to do another stream on this whole stuff another time with the setup, and you guys can just see how crazy this is. We can do like serum-like sounds on this Microfreak now with this as the final like distortion unit. It's so cool. I've like, you know, it's like if you as a dubstep producer, you're usually pretty far ahead when it comes to plugin usage, when it comes to how to use your plugins, what kind of plugins you use. And usually, I wouldn't say we look down on people who use like analog gear stuff, like you know, very simple synthesizers that cost you like $3,000, and they only have like a saw wave, square wave, and a sine wave, and like a couple of other things that are super basic. The thing is, I was really trying to figure out to make a system work analog that replicates what we do as dubstep producers inside of the DAW. And I think I have it down. I have 2 zooms with my custom effects list that I can even give out if you guys want to. I have the Microfreak with my custom wavetables and this Jive Real Saturator. And you are set and done. You don't need anything else. It's so good. I'm going to do a stream on this kind of stuff. But yeah, just a big shout out to JPT-RFX. They knocked it out of the park with this Jive pedal. It's insane. So any of you who have a hardware synthesizer and you want just a bit, the cool part is again, for example, with the Zoom, I can, and this is really cool about analog, is that it kind of works like how it works in the DAW. With a lot of the effects that you have, almost every effect on the Zoom multi-stamp has an output level, and you can really drive that up. And the thing is, when you drive that up, it just goes straight into the complete audio and just starts clipping. It sounds awful. But you can just turn up the volume and drive that into the Jive Real Saturator when you have the second clipping mode on. So it's a little switch that you have to switch, and then that one's on. One little thing as well is that this pedal here, this distortion pedal, the saturation pedal, when none of these are on, it's still doing a little bit of saturation. And that one is actually asymmetrical. So when you don't want the asymmetrical distortion, you turn on clipping mode 2. Once you have that on, you can turn down the gain all the way and just have the volume set somewhere, and then you can start either turning up the volume of your synthesizer until it starts to thicken up a little bit, and then you can start turning up the gain. And you can turn up this gain to like 70%, and if it starts clipping into the audio interface, you just turn on the main volume, which is like the output volume. So it acts like a saturator with a threshold. It's amazing. I love it. I've tried this out today just a little bit. Obviously, I had to do some other stuff and prepare a lot of things, but man, you can do so many cool things with this. And like, my bass sounds so insane now with this thing. It's so good. Like, this thing is so good. And then it's the only saturator that you can find on the internet. It's incredible. I searched literally everywhere. I searched for a soft clipping, like saturation, like pedal. It does not exist. You can type in saturation pedal. Good luck. There's one, which is the Strymon Deco for double, if not, no, this is, all right, we get it. You have a motorbike. For more than 3 times the price of this pedal. But obviously it does a whole bunch of other stuff like chorus and everything. And it doesn't even quite do the saturation the same way this thing does it. So I highly recommend, if you have a synthesizer and you want something that limits it and saturates it before it goes into the interface, this is it. This is it. I tried it out today, and it's exactly what I was looking for. And it's even soft saturation. It's not doing it like digital clipping, right? It's not like a digital clip. It's really soft and warm. So yeah, and again, if you take a look at it, like the zoom pedal is like what? Like $100. You get 2 of these, so you're $200. The Arturia Micro Freak is like $300. And then this one's $100. And you can actually just get one zoom pedal. It's usually enough. So you have 100, you have 300, and then you have another 100. So that's $500, right? Around $500. And you have basically a more trimmed down version of Serum IRL. It's so good. I love it. It's so good. And actually, the Micro Freak has a couple of things here that I find even a little bit difficult to replicate in the DAW, which is the Spice and Dice thing. And you can just basically play like an arpeggiator bass line, and then the Spice and Dice thing is basically just going to randomize your arpeggiator, and it almost sounds like it's like making a drop for you. And it's cool as well because it's so what it can do is it can lower the volume of certain notes that are playing. And obviously, it like you press it once, you press this thing here once, and then it just has a randomization once. And if you just play an ARP, like a for example, you can turn on the sequencer, so you can play some kind of melody that sounds very boring, and then you turn the Spice and Dice on, and you just instantly get like an actual melody that you can use. It's so incredible. Like the Micro Freak is crazy, and I'm going to do a stream on this as well. But again, the setup for it is usually very, very difficult. But I'm going to just show you. I'm going to do one more stream. I'm going to show you how fucking insane this thing is. But yeah, that's about the Micro Freak and the Jive Real Saturator. It's really good. It's usually for guitars. But I asked the manufacturer of it. I think it's one guy or a couple of guys that run this. This does not remove the high end. It does not remove the low end. It just saturates it. And of course, if you want an even higher distortion, you can use either the third one, which is a germanium clipper, which is called very interesting. And that one's really heavy. This one distorts it quite a lot. So the thing is, the saturation is a little bit different compared to like digital saturation, right? Obviously, we can make things sound a little smoother with soft clipping and wave shaping. But here you get a completely different type of saturation, which is obviously the analog saturation. So hardware saturation, which is really interesting. And yeah, I just highly recommend it. Like it's a bonus, right? Because you don't usually get this type of saturation in digital. Germanium. It's called germanium. Yeah, you also, or like digitally, you can just have Faceband and Ableton. That's it, right? But yeah, that's about that. And now let's get into Ableton. I'm gonna just cool down for 1 sec. Okay. Cool. So I'm gonna be playing more with that after the stream as well because it's so fun. Anyways, the next sample pack is this sample pack volume 5. I even have a really cool. Let me open this up in the Explorer. I have a really cool little. Always add like a little self-made USB stick to this kind of stuff, and I think this one looks really cool. Also made in Eevee, by the way. I use Eevee only. It's kind of like my religion at this point. This is Sample Pack Volume 5. It was supposed to come out on the 1st of this month, but again, I got COVID and had to play the show, so that had to be delayed. But it's finally out. It's 100 samples. It's 20 background effects. It's 20 custom effects. It's 10 downlifters. It's 20 impacts. Oh, it's 10 custom effects. 10 downlifters, 20 impacts, 10 pads, 20 spectral glitches, and 10 uplifters. And basically what I'm trying to do with this, I'm going to press F11 here, by the way. Basically what I'm trying to do with this effects pack is kind of give you something for the coming months/years. Anything that's in here, I would obviously use as well. And that's why I love doing these Patreon sample packs, is because like everyone benefits, right? I benefit because I get to sit down on my ass and actually make these samples for once, and you guys get to enjoy them as well. And so these are the back effects. All of this is ran at 150 BPM. So whenever you drag them in, you can just put that into the BPM and then use, for example, repitch if you're at 140 or 145 BPM or even 170. It's cool because some of these are actually rendered in a way where, for example, with the uplifter, you can see that they're rendered in a way where it actually ends like right there where the pre-drop would be, and then you can cut that out. You can do that. And for example, some of the impacts are the same way. So the impact, you wouldn't know when the impact here would start because it has like a fade in. So you can just add that like this right here because we're at 150, and that would be perfect. So any other impact that you drag in, you can see it just works. Those impacts are different. And then you can even just replace these impacts like this because we have 10 impacts that don't have a pre-shift. So let's actually listen to all of these effects, right? Because that's the interesting part. So these are the background effects. These are all very hype until NBFX 10, and then the other ones get more rhythmy, right? So this is what the first one sounds like. And all of these samples are at -1 decibels, by the way. 24-bit graph. Really fun stuff. Especially if you run this through like Retune or PitchMap, they sound really cool. And then we get the other 10 background effects, which are a lot more rhythmy. Right? Yeah, it's over double the others in size because it's a lot of long wave WAV samples, right? It's a lot of long WAV samples. So it's 125 megabytes compressed. So I don't even know how much it is as a exported folder. But again, most of these, you won't really need any more other effects, honestly. Like, I don't know if I'm ever going to do a second effects pack, because this is, like, really solid. But yeah, those are the first 10 back effects. Then you get the more rhythmy ones, which are really interesting. With a bit of a binaural kind of effect. And then you get those like kind of tear out background effects. So those are the background effects. It's 156 56 megabytes. Yeah. So it's a pretty big sample pack, right? In size, of course, and in samples. And then we have, well, you can be lucky though, like there are sample packs out there that are like 4 gigabytes, and I'm really scared of like doing any of those. Now we come to the custom effects. So you get 10 custom effects. These are effects that I would be using personally all the time. And the one sample that I wanted to include that is very simplistic, and then you can kind of generate anywhere else anyways, is the pink noise. And the reason why I want to include this is because I want to encourage people to use pink noise. Pink noise is a lot better than white noise. White noise is very, very, very aggressive. And when you try to mix based on white noise, your mix downs are going to be too harsh on most systems. With pink noise, you're going to be fine. And I included a very, very, very long pink noise sample, so you can sample different sections of it and you have enough space. Because I noticed that with my pink noise sample, right here, it was a bit too short. Like, for example, if I were to do like snare tails, this isn't enough space to get different variations. With these two pink noise samples, you have like, I think it's like 60, no, not 60 seconds. It's 24 seconds probably. So it's enough time to get as many variations as you want, right? Also, we're gonna hide this user. Unhide user on this channel. Remove. Stupid. Some samples. Only 5 miles away. Cool. Then, next up, we have the distorted noise, which sounds like this. We have heavy distorted noise, which sounds like this. And these layer very, very well with basses. So you can see that it's almost like ring modded because of the sine wave. And I think it has most of its like low end already taken out. So it's very easy to mix. Then we have crackle noise, and this one was really interesting to make. So it's like a vinyl crackle kind of thing. And it's I use pink noise stereo to have a stereo field here. If you wanted a mono pink noise, what you could do, a mono crackle, you could just grab a utility and just play the left side, for example. Or just play the right side. So you even have like double the length of a sample here, which is pretty cool. Cool. Next up, we have spectral noise, which sounds like this. It sounds like water. It sounds like maybe someone is peeing. It might make some of you uncomfortable because it's also stereo and binaural, so it's a bit yeah, it's a bit annoying of a sound. Then you have two zaps. So these zaps, I've seen a lot of people do these zaps. These right here. And one thing is that most people don't quite know how to make them. So they'll start using like a saw wave, like a sine wave even, which a sine wave can, by the way, work as well, but with pink noise, and then running that through I think it was a bandpass or it was a low pass filter. You get a very, very soft zap that just fits in any mix because it doesn't have as much high end as the other usual zaps. There are zaps that sound very, very annoying. Then you have the big zap. It's a bigger version of that. Then you've got a sine charge. Also with a little bit of stereo there. And you got the long sine charge. Cool. Then we come to the downlifters. So the downlifters all have a bit of character. They're very, very simple though. And they have just a very clean tonality. So this is the first one. And again, I made sure on all of these that there's no annoying high end on these, right? And they're very long. And the cool part is, the reason why I made them so long is so that you can fade them out if you want them to be faded out earlier, right? Because what I notice sometimes is that sometimes an effect sample will be this short. But maybe that's not enough, right? It doesn't sound very nice when it just fades out too quickly. So you have the option to cut it down. And you have that one. This one's very cool. This gives me like old dubstep vibes. And you have one with an actual sample there. And then you have two white noise ones. I didn't want to make too many white noise downlifters, like pink noise downlifters in this case. But I included two of them. And then we come to the impacts. So these impacts are really fun. They're actually all made out of noise as well, and it's pink noise as well. It's really difficult to make these. It was a combination of using some of the kick bodies from Sample Pack Volume 3. So these snare kick bodies here, where are they at? And then using convolution as well, and then reverb. It was a mess, but I really like how they turned out. They're all very, very clean. They don't have too much of a character to like sound annoying in a lot of mixes, which is one issue that I usually have with impacts, is that they're doing too much. They're doing too much, and then I can't use it in my track because it doesn't fit. With these impacts, they're just focused on giving you a very, very clean impact. You have that one. And the first 10 have a pre-shift. I'm getting Discord notifications now. Stop. So those are 10 impacts with a pre-shift. And then you get 10 impacts that are starting right from the impact. I really like this one. And this one. So, and what's really cool about these impacts is that if you have one impact imported, and you can just put it down like this, you can actually just drag any of the other impacts that don't have that that wind up, and just replace the impact. And that's so fun. Ah, it's so good. I love it. So you have even more impacts there. So those are the 10 impacts. And now we come to a very, very special set of effects, which is the pads. And I really wanted to make sure that these pads are of the highest quality as I can get them. And funnily enough, these pads don't only just have like a static kind of like tonality to them, but they actually have little bits and melodies inside of them to make them just a little bit more interesting. And on top of that, I made sure that these loop perfectly. So actually, I'm going to drag this out. I'm going to just let this play. You didn't even notice the transition. How cool is that, right? And then you have pad number 2. Then you have pad number 3. Pad number 4. Pad number 5. This one has little drops in the left and right space there. You can hear it. Sounds like you're in like a little cave. Number 6. These could sound like from a movie or something, right? So when you start your intro with something like this, it'll sound very, very professional. And again, when we drag these in, they loop perfectly. Number 7. Number 8. Number 9. And number 10. And one last time, just to show you, they loop perfectly. No clicks, no weird repeating stuff, just perfect looping. Cool. So those are the pads. I hope you guys enjoy them. I enjoy them quite a lot. And then we got the spectral glitches, and this is really interesting. So I used the what is it? The Fracture XT. I used that to make the glitches, well, the buffering glitches and stuff. But the input signals ran through a vocoder, and then that one had a spectral gate on it, so the gate function on it. And then I was actually just messing with this in real time. So I wasn't even like, you know, randomizing this with an LFO. I was actually just messing with this real time. And what I noticed is when you mess with knobs real time, it's a lot different when you let random LFOs mess with it, because it's more like, you can compare it more to like a crazy guy working on a modular system and then turning knobs around and getting cool stuff. So these are the spectral glitches, and they sound like this. I think number 10 is really funny. I don't know how I got this, but it's such a good sound, and it's like coming from bass sounds. I don't know how this happened. Then we have glitch number 11, 12, 13, 14. Glitch number 15 sounds like that bonk meme. And then with glitch number 20, I accidentally stopped moving any of the knobs, and I actually got like a sustained bass out of it, and I kind of just had to include it. So that one was really fun as well. And then for the last bit, the uplifters. And with these ones as well, I was very, very careful that they're not too annoying. And funnily enough, there was an old Vengeance Dub Volume 2 sample. So it was the Vengeance Dub samples, dubstep sample packs from way, way back, like 2013, 14 or something like that. And there was one specific riser that I really liked, and I liked it for the fact that it did not start at 0. It also sounded really cool because it was like a really cool super saw that was really detuned. It sounded really, really great, but it was quite annoying to the ears towards the end. And I wanted to include the same kind of feature here with the uplifters. So all of these uplifters don't start at 0. So you have uplifter 1. And as you can hear, even at the highest part, it's not really annoying to the ears. You have a nice little tail there. And then this actually doesn't start at 0. And the cool part is, the reason why I did this is so you have the option to fade it. If you, for example, are in a drop and you want to have an uplifter happen in the second part of the drop, you can just turn this down and literally let this play out like this. But if you are using this in a build-up and you actually want it to come in, just use the fade. Just use the fade. You don't want it in the pre-drop, delete it. There you go. So all of these have the same characteristic. And then some of them get a little bit crazy, again at 150 BPM. Then you have number 4. You have number 5. Number 6. Number 7. Number 8. And none of these are, again, too over the top so that they can work in multiple tracks. And that's quite important, right? Is that uplifters are usually, and downlifters are usually supposed to help a transition, but not occupy the transition, right? So you don't want your uplifter or downlifter to be too crazy, so that it's taking away attention. It's just supposed to feel natural. And then the last two are white noise uplifters, but I did not want to have them start at a specific volume because white noise doesn't quite sound all that great. So I just have them faded. That's the first one, and then this one is the second one. So yeah, those are the uplifters. We've went through all of the different effects, the background effects, the custom effects, downlifters, impacts, pads, spectral glitches, and uplifters. I think you're going to be pretty set with these effects. Can we not ban someone from the channel? Is that not possible? Let me check. Hide user on this channel. put user on timeout. Cool. You should not be able to write anything anymore. All right. So, with that being said, let's get into the next topic of the stream, which is PitchMap. So, I wrote the nice guys at Synaptic to renew my demo. I did not ask them for a license. I asked them to renew my demo because I am checking it out now. I did check it out a little bit earlier today, and I quite like it. But I'm not 100% sold on it yet. So with that being said, this is not a sponsored video. They just renewed my trial. I don't own it. But if I do end up liking it, we might be able to do something in the future maybe, which would probably be cool because I was actually at the Super Booth 2022 in Berlin, where they were there as well. I actually got to meet the KHS guys. I think you guys can remember. They're such great dudes. Love them. But I also was able to meet the Synaptic guys, and I think I met like the head chef there. And we were talking about it, and I was also talking to, I think, one of the lead developers probably. And I told him, like, what would be really cool is if you can you know, have some kind of filtering where you only really process the mid frequencies because the sub doesn't quite matter. Retuning that or like repitching that doesn't quite matter. The top end, retuning that or pitch mapping that doesn't sound too great. It sounds too artificial. But the mid section is really important. That's where all of the melodies lie in, right? I think they kind of took that advice. Maybe they're doing something with it. I don't know. But obviously, we can also do this with MVP rack, which we have over here. I also got to talk to the head chef there, and he said one really important thing is that most people like to drive up this one knob, which is Purify, and they don't understand what it's doing. And we're going to talk about that. So I'm going to open up PitchMap. I'm usually a retune head, right? But I'm going to open up PitchMap, and I'm going to work with it today. So this is PitchMap right here. It's pretty small on my 1440p window. This is probably going to be like someone's going to screenshot this and call it a cursed image, or like I'm betraying betraying retune. But I did want to just try it out. Oh my god, the stupid spam again. Remove. Hide user on this channel. And put user on timeout. Hello, hello. So, this is PitchMap. We're going to make a sound, okay? We're going to do it like everyone else. We're going to do it like everyone else. So, we're not allowed to use faceplant. We're going to use... Wait. All right, I think I made a very long meaty clip there. Well, okay. We're going to use Serum, because that's what everyone else uses. And we're going to make a quick bass with this. So... Oh, it's already active. Let's turn it off. I'm going to pick a spectral wavetable. I picked this one earlier, this Monster 7. It sounded really, really cool. Process Squarify. And we're going to do a very, very simple LFO here. I'm actually just... again, I don't know if Lotus is watching right now. I'm going to do the similar flow here. Which I think was something like this. I'm going to put it to 6. I think I had it like this, I believe. Yeah, I had it like this. But I think I had it faster. I think I had it like that. So we're going to do a simple LFO shape like this. And then I'm going to use LFO tool to cycle through the wavetable position. A little faster. Trigger. We might also like re-trigger this to maybe add some unison. We'll figure that out in a second. Let's add a high notch filter. Let's add some pink noise. Run that through the filter as well. Turn on the sub. And I'm going to use not N power rack. I'm going to use N power inside of snap peep. And that was really quick, right? Cool. Let's actually press, I think it was Shift, Control Alt. Nope, it was Shift Alt. Actually, we can just do this. Never mind. Go to Matrix and go to the noise level and just turn this down. Cool. Next up, let's turn on the random face. And the first thing I want to add is the comp minus HL, because this thing is literally OP. So you can hear, usually this is what a comp filter sounds like. And the main issue with this is it's just adding too many harmonics. It's doing too much. It's just doing too much, you know? It's just doing too much. It doesn't quite like, it doesn't mix really nicely. And that's why using the comp plus and minus with this HL, which is a high pass and low pass, sounds really good. Watch while I take this down and play it. And there you go. Wow, this isn't without the filter. It's ruining it, yeah. And now with the filter. Maybe this is some secret sauce right here. Maybe, I don't know. Feels like it. Sounds really good though. You can even put the LFO into that. Cool. Let's add some distortion. Let's put it to post and make it a high pass. That's why we get it the cleanest. Awesome. Let's add a flanger. Put it to BPM. Put it to 1.5 probably. Turn on the phase, turn on the feedback, turn down the depth here. Turn some of the mix. Cool, let's add some crazy hyper dimension and a little bit of dimension expander. Let's go back into Empower and turn up the sub mono. Maybe turn up the stereo a little bit. Nice, really clean, right? Cool. Anything else? Maybe an EQ at the last thing. That's the last thing. Maybe add a notch. Cool. Oh, that's nasty. Maybe try some unison. Let's go to global and turn off width. Turn up unison. Turn on the blend. See how much you can get out of Serum? And now we're going to turn on some FM. You have to turn the random down here. Cool. So we got that down. We got the processing done. No, not again. Stop. Hide user on this channel. Remove. Put user in timeout. Fuck off. There we go. Okay. So now we are in E. So what happens when we put retune on it? What happens if we do it like everyone else? Let's put it to, what are we on? D? E. Okay. We're going to go key transform, E, and then we'll go to natural minor. First of all, what the hell is happening with the sub? What I've noticed is usually you have to go down 5 steps here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, wait. This looks to be like the root node right here. Is this the root node? Why is this red? Is that the root node? Man, I think I messed it up. Put it to here. What we can do is we can try and put the sub up an octave. That has to be accurate right here. That's probably just retuning it, right? That's the root node right there. Ah, that's the root node. I get it. Okay, okay. 5 seconds. I got it. Okay. So with that being said, turn on Purify. Kill your PC. Now, I gotta say, though, the actual harmonics that PitchMap puts out are actually really cool. And when I talked to the chef, like the head chef probably of the company, of Synapic, he mentioned one thing. Take a look at my CPU. Makes it kind of unusable, right? Now, here's the thing. What the Purify actually does is, contrary to, I think, what is happening in Retune, Retune processes everything once. So if we go to retune and we go to chromatic minor, and retune, it sounds like everything's being processed once. While PitchMap is actually, with Purify, what PitchMap is doing is it's reiterating its effect. So the way you can think about it is that it's basically feedback looping the sound into the plugin. And that's what he was telling me, is that that's why the more you turn up the Purify knob, the higher the CPU usage goes. So if we, for example, have the Purify all the way up, look at the, we are at around 36%. Now, if we take it down all the way, we are at 23%. Without it, we are at 19%, 18%. With it, we are at like 24. So you can see that when we slowly start turning it up, right around after 90%, we start to really push the CPU. And it's really interesting how like the last 5, 6, 7% make a big difference in CPU usage. I wish they would have kind of mapped this knob a little bit differently so you would notice it more. But yeah, don't use it at 100%, not only because it doesn't sound all that great, but also because, obviously, it's taking a lot of CPU. So, one other thing that we need to cover is algorithms. So while we have this main algorithm, which is medium, and it sounds nice, natural sometimes can sound a little bit cooler, right? Because it's not as aggressive. Their mapping is off anyways. I got that in my notes for them already. Yeah. Like, again, Purify, the fact that the last 10% are making a difference, most people are not going to notice, and then they're going to just have like a crazy CPU spike, right? Now, another thing that we need to fix is, just like in Retune, we have the issue when, and this is kind of like a flaw in both plugins, funnily enough. And I told them this as well at the at the, what's it called? The super booth, I told them that one of the big issues is here that obviously these pitch remappings here and the pitch correction is kind of replicating a whole chord, right? And the big issue with that is that sometimes the voicing of a chord is different. So for example, here we have all of the available chords of E minor, but not every chord is going to have every note. And as you can see, we have two notes right here that are clashing. And the easiest way we can see this is when we actually trick retune. So this is really interesting. You can trick this. You can probably trick PITCHMAP as well. Let's add an E note and let's go to scale, go to E minor, and let's play an F sharp and a G. Okay. Let's open up Serum, make this a sine wave, and listen to this. Does this sound good? Does that sound good? Does that sound good to you? I don't think so. I don't think that sounds good. Now, how about this? Still not quite there. That's a bit better. That's not that bad. That's not that bad. This is really bad. And funnily enough, if you open up retune and you put this to E, chromatic to minor, retune will work, but it still sounds like as. As you can see, it's recognized the G note and the F sharp note, but it still sounds dissonant. And this is one of the big issues with both retune and PITCHMAP, is that they don't account for whatever note you're playing or whatever chord you're playing. And another one. Stop. Put them on timeout immediately. Holy shit. So, with that being said, usually you will have chords where this works. So, for example, if we start adding more notes, and we move one of them down an octave, that actually works. Even though we still have those two dissonant notes in them. And you can see that retune is still recognizing those two dissonant notes. But because they're in different octaves, it's fine. And so what we have to do is we need to basically just kind of simplify the chord. Now, again, we are currently using a chord that has those two notes in it, but we don't have to. We can also use a chord like this. And this chord, as you can see, is not using, for example, these notes. So we can move them down and we can move these down. And if we have a bass sound now in here, that would sound fine and sound like this chord. So that's really important, is that we kind of figure that stuff out. So that's why you have to decide for what kind of chord you want it to be playing. And again, the different notes are going to be playing different chords and different voicings. So sometimes you have to have these down here, sometimes you have to have them up there. But you can kind of hear, and practice your ear on what sounds right. For example, this sounds right here in retune, so we would have to go back to PITCHMAP and do the same thing. So you can see right here, where's this root note playing, by the way? It's probably just playing... oh, interesting. Yeah, so you can turn this off, and then you can see the same stuff happening here. So we have... C, D, E. But if that's the root note, then we are not in the right root note. C, D, E. So we need to move down here. Even though this still sounds correct. Sometimes this key transform really confuses me. So exclude. Oh yeah, you can exclude as well, right? So I think you can exclude by... How do you exclude them? How do you exclude them? Maybe this square? Is it the square? Click on a key toggle, the bypass exclude state for that pitch, depending on whether bypass or exclude is selected in the key edit parameter. Where's the key edit? Key edit. Exclude. Oh, there you go. Okay. You click on the lower keyboard. Oh, that's how you exclude them. Oh, well, there you go. We can, again, do the sub-test to see if we are on the correct spot here. And we are. Sweet. Turn it back down. So now, as you said, we can exclude them, but we can also just pitch them to a different part. Like that. Now, what I'm usually confused about is this jump right here. So we have a jump of 2 notes, which is fine, but I am not finding... Oh, is it this note right here? Why do we have 2 of them? Wait, so, yeah, so this is kind of confusing me. So natural minor seems to have only 1 dissonant note, which is kind of sus to me. But we have to use natural minor, right? We don't have to use harmonic minor, as far as I remember. For example, in autotune, we would be using natural minor. So what's going on here? Another one? Seriously? Different bots every time, yes. So we move either these down or move these up. Now, the weird part is that I cannot spot any other dissonant notes except for these 2 right here. Yeah, those are the 2. So these will probably have to be moved up here. And now we actually have like a proper pitch, repitch. We could obviously move them somewhere else. But they would have to go up here. So with that being said, we have the sound. And just mixing in the purify now. It sounds good. I'm not gonna lie. It sounds good. It sounds good. Now we can do similar things here. So you can see that we can also move the notes here and retune and get similar sounds out of it as well. So both have their strengths. I do feel like that PITCHMAP is actually destroying the sound a little less here, while retune has a very kind of resonator kind of sound to it, which we can reduce with the pitch correct. Having that all the way up will kind of make it sound like a resonator. Maybe turning down the sensitivity. Actually, I would probably have this all the way up and then have the pitch correct maybe at 50. So I would say PITCHMAP doesn't actually sound all that bad. And then we can try maybe the natural algorithm. But probably medium is best. And then you have a... Whoa, strict mode is doing way too much. So that sounds pretty cool. Now, here's the little magic trick. Just like with an NBP, with remap, retune, we can use NBP to only have it focus on a certain frequency range. And then we can start turning up the purifier. And that sounds pretty cool. Now we can also try this with retune. And both of them sound really cool. Let's go to effects and start messing with the comp filter here a little bit. And let's turn on PitchMap. Cool. Let's try retune. I would probably say 95% is the maximum that you should do. What does threshold do? This sets the pitch deviation from closest semitone. That triggers pitch correction. Huh? Doesn't quite change a whole lot. I would say retune is a bit more aggressive. But again, in use with NBP, it sounds almost just as good. I would even say that PitchMap here is lacking a little bit. But that might just be because of the incoming signal. Now, another thing that we can try, and this is super fun, we're going to add a multipass in here. And we're going to start modulating a frequency shifter with an LFO. We're going to put this to sync and put it to 4/4. And then we're going to start modulating the frequency shifter. Let's do something like this. Now, this doesn't sound quite interesting, but once we run this through PitchMap or Retune, you get some cool stuff. So both of these sound really cool. And finally, Pitch Correct still does something. Now, I wonder if they have a manual. I'm going to open this up on the other side. Actually, let me go... question mark. Open user guide. That's it. Website. Whoa. Okay. Let me load this up here. Let's take a look at the manual, because I do want to know what Retune is actually doing to our sound. So we can say that we have a documentation here. We can press Control F and search for it. We're going to search for pitch. There's a lot of pitch. Search for pitch correct, right? And only got 13. Pitch correct slider, right? So this says, use the pitch correct slider, 1, to adjust the strength of pitch correction applied to the audio. With pitch correct set to its highest, rightmost value, all map pitches will snap to the center of the nearest semitone. This will remove any pitch variation, which on vocals is akin to a shear effect. As one would expect, setting pitch correct to its lowest value leaves the relative pitches contours of the original audio, or the pitch contours of the original audio unaltered. Use this setting when the audio being retuned has deliberate and accurate pitch variations that should be preserved after the retuning. Any slider position in between these two extremes applies a proportional amount of pitch correction. It can therefore help some intonations problems while still leaving some natural pitch variation intact. So this is actually like a real-time, not auto-tune, but like actual pitch correction software like Melodyne or something, where you can just keep the natural pitch changes of a note, which is interesting. So it's still pitch correcting it to a certain note, but it's keeping those little inconsistencies and in notes. And another thing I want to figure out is sensitivity. So I'm going to type in sensitivity. Introduction, naming conventions, processing control, sensitivity knob. The sensitivity knob adjusts, as the name suggests, the insensitivity for initial pitch detection. A high sensitivity will shift a larger number of pitches, whereas a lower sensitivity will only shift the most predominant pitches. This is interesting as well, so we might be able to use that as well. That's interesting because now we have a lot less of that annoying kind of resonant sound to it. For example, if we take this up. But then again, it doesn't sound all that great with the sensitivity all the way down. Maybe at 50% it sounds better. But that's why we use MBP anyway, so we don't have to deal with the high end there. So yeah, and that's PITCHMAP right here. And let's watch this. Sounds like this is the main note. So this is pretty cool that you can like repitch this. I really like that feature right here. So we can do the same thing in retune though. You just gotta find the note. It's not quite clear which one is the main note here. I think it's this one right here, this B note. So we can also move that one around. So we can get some really cool stuff done with retune as well. Yeah, and in this case, we want to... So here, for example, you can hear that PITCHMAP is doing a little bit too much. So we might... Doesn't sound all so great right now. That's a little better. I do like how PITCHMAP kind of retains the original sound a little bit more than retune does. Retune is definitely smearing a whole lot more. Let's have it have a little bit of smoothing there. So with retune, we can use the pitch correct a little bit, but we shouldn't overdo it. Yeah, I mean, PITCHMAP sounds great. Honestly, it sounds good. Let's mess around with the FM. Let's see what retune does. Wow, listen to those harmonics there. Ah, sounds so good. PitchMap. Really good as well. And what I really like about PitchMap is that it's showing you which are the most dominant ones. I think it's this one. Where's the one? Maybe this one? That sounds really good, honestly. But as you can see, we can get pretty close with retune as well. And with the pitch correct a little lower. And the really fun part now is that we can just go back to multipass and just mess with this. And we can draw something entirely else. Let's just draw something random. Let's go back to PitchMap. So the glide here. Let's go retune. Honestly, I might cop. You know, I might cop because this is pretty good. Now again, CPU-wise, 25%, 23, not much of a difference there. So don't use PewDiePie all the way up. I almost said PewDiePie. And we can test this on other sounds as well, of course. Let's try a sustain, right? So I want to do a longer note. Let's do Control J on this, and then I'm going to hit legato. I'm going to load up another serum. I'm literally just going to copy this stuff, only this stuff, paste it. Within serum, actually we're going to use operator because that one's a lot faster with it. Let's switch it to a saw wave and another saw wave, and then we can actually try a sine wave. Let's go with 4. Cool. Let's load up a convolver. And let's load up one of the bass IRs. If we want to dry wet this, we got to find out what the delay here is. So the way we can do that is we will have to delete this again, add a snap heap. I know this is quite annoying. We're going to go to convolver, and IRs. Put this to parallel. Add a gain on each. 50% here. Duplicate it. 50% the other way. So we're going to type in -50. And turn this down. Now we can mix it in. Actually, this is, you know what? This is... No, you can hear... But this is a bit delayed, so we might want to add a delay of like... Yeah, 70 milliseconds. Now we can actually do a proper dry wet. Call this dry wet. DW. Cool. Let's add a disperser. Awesome. Now we can mess with the FM. Let me turn this on a little bit. And now let's mess around with the convolution. I think that sounds pretty cool. Let's go ahead and copy NVP. And we are currently in E, so that should just work. Wow. Another one? Seriously? Now, frankly, this is actually using the MBP filter, so we might want to put it outside the group and see what it sounds like. So this is full on processing. Let's go ahead with retune. Yeah, then you can hear the difference without the pitch correction. I think at 50% this sounds pretty good. Sensitivity sounds really good. Which sound do you like? Which sound do you guys like more? Wait, this is still. Whoa! I have the purifier at 0 and it's still doing it. Why is it still working 100%? Did it break it? No, it just works. That's cool. Oh, we can get it really nice. So it's showing us the ones that are the main focus here. Let's play the sub. Both of them sound really cool, to be honest. Let's go back into operator. Let's make this one a saw wave as well. Let's use a sound like that. Let's also go back into the convolver here, make the fader higher, so it's not as roomy. Awesome. Go back to PitchMap. Sounds great. Let's go to retune. Sounds great as well. Not quite sure whether this is moving its... We're not even using Purify and it sounds good. Oh, this sounds cool as well. You can like change the notes there. Whoa, that's cool. Now again, both of these are now just processing the whole spectrum. So let's put them back into an NBPR, NBP, I mean. And only that focus on the main bass here. Sounds good. Let's go with retune. Put it to the same note as PitchMap. Okay, now having the sensitivity up all the way sounds better. Cool. It doesn't quite sound fully. Awesome. I want to lower the mix here a little bit. And maybe on the last one, we're going to add a sine wave again. Whoa, we're getting some crazy... That's interesting. Now when we're using Purify. Cool. Of course, we're really pushing it right now. Ooh, okay, 1 second. Come on, let me edit this. We put this over here. Put this over here. And then this goes over here. Oops. Doing this very, very messily right now. So that's PitchMap. Whoa. Honestly, I'm really impressed by PitchMap. It's holding up really, really well. And you can like use this on any effect, then sample it, like resample it, and you're good to go. I might have to hit up Synaptic here. Yeah, it's retaining the resonance is a little bit better. Actually, turning down the sensitivity here helps quite a lot on retune. If we have the sensitivity up all too much, we get that really annoying, like kind of like resonator kind of sound. But just having the sensitivity lower kind of helps with it. But yeah, PitchMap is still like a little bit cleaner than that. So yeah, that sounds really cool. Go back to retune. But you're honestly fine with both in most cases. Let's go ahead and change this a little bit further. Go back to multipass. Ooh, let's go with some. This is doing a really good job. Without even having to really push it all that hard. Let's try a different note. Let's write a chord progression here. I'm gonna go like this. Let's go with one. Wait, I think it's up here. Cool. PitchMap sounds great. Yeah, having the sensitivity lower here really helps. But yeah, like generally speaking, Retune has more of a... Maybe adding a little bit more transits here. Let's mess around with the multipass. Which sound are you guys preferring? Yeah, PitchMap sounds a little bit more natural here, right? Let's try a different chord progression. I'm gonna go down to D. I'm actually gonna go. I'm gonna go 1, 2. I'm gonna go up 2 octaves. What's it called? So what? No, we are at F sharp. So F sharp minor. Then let's go to PitchMap and change it to F sharp. Let's go to Retune and change it to F sharp. Go back to PitchMap. We have the... Okay, I think I reset all of these, right? Yeah. Oh no, wait. This has to go up. So these are actually hitting each other. is definitely adding some kind of like smearing as well, but that might be the purify. Yeah, this is good. Are we not editing? It does sound a little like it's Halo-ish, like it's kind of like delayed to the back. But I'm actually kind of starting to prefer the pitch map sound here a little bit. You can obviously change the bass shape here a little bit around. So let's put this to 1.8. We do like a simple. It doesn't sound quite that great now. I think all of these are struggling a little bit. We're doing a little bit of a staircase progression here, so I don't quite like that. Try pitch map. They really have a different sound to them. Man, I'm starting to really like pitch map though. Maybe this middle one can. Honestly, why are you guys putting this up? Like, this purify is not... It's not all that necessary. Another kind of sound that we can try this on is a... Oh, this needs to be even faster? Holy shit. Start writing a really, really cool we're gonna put all of this into a group. Let's get rid of the sub here because we don't need the sub anymore. And I'm gonna add an operator on the second here. Let's also group this and add a white noise. And you already know the drill. Saturator, auto filter, saturator. I'm gonna put this to gate. Put it to wave shaper, turn on the drive. Turn this on a little bit. Oops. Oh, what happened? We gotta delay this. So I'm just gonna turn on the filter, turn on the feedback. Oh, now we can start to get into the cool territory. Let's start messing around with the tonality of this. Are we in the right key? Yeah. Interesting, so you can turn these off. Wow, that's actually mad. But you can do the same thing in retune though. Wait, maybe we don't actually need the filter if we can just not filter out the top end. Oh, 1 second. I think we just might have found a really cool thing here. That might make the NBP rack obsolete. I gotta test this though. Get this out of here. Let's just turn these off. Oh, interesting. And it's just not doing anything to the top. Holy crap, what? 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 That I didn't even know that was possible. Like that it would have an effect like that. That's awesome. That's really cool. I'm gonna start using that then. Sort this out. So all of the top stuff here that's not really doing much. So you can really just focus on the notes that you actually need to focus on. Big brain. Big brain. I need to turn on this thing. Big brain. So what we can do is, so we basically just load up chromatic, and then we go to minor, and then we just focus on the, so first of all, we set up the notes, and then we just use the ones that are the lightest. Maybe we want to have these ones enabled as well, but the top ones. Oh, dude, we could like do a fucking automation. Oh shit! Bam bam bam! Oh bam 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 bam! And one issue though is with retune and with elastic pitch, and I think with PitchMap it's going to be the same. We need to kind of like move this a little bit. Oh! Bum 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 bum. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. And then we take a fucking pitch and then we go down. Go lower. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Bro, what? If we wouldn't have had the stream, I would have never realized that you could just turn off the top ones and not use them because they're unnecessary. Even these ones are unnecessary. Whoa! Bum 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 bum. Ah, that's insane. That's actually insane. That's brutal. Let's start messing with the... Yeah, so now obviously we have other ones that are enabled. Obviously we don't have to enable the top ones anyways. We can actually disable this one. It's probably this one. So we can just go... And again, we have to kind of like slightly offset it so it actually works. So we're just going to select this and kind of just cut it out and like put it right there. Or move it a little bit further. A bit further. Yeah, it's a little bit difficult on again how to do this is we have to just basically offset this by a certain amount. So we're going to cut this out. We're going to delete everything. Stop adding any points. And then we're just going to paste it here. Bam. relevant thing to do in PitchMap is to map everything to a single node on MAO, like media input. Yeah, but then you're gonna get a lot of stretching on the very, very far away nodes, and yeah, that's the kind of stuff, right? Also, I don't know if you just joined back, but we just realized that you can literally just turn off the top nodes that are being pitch mapped, or like, I mean, retuned, and we basically have the NBP rack inside of this, and we can only focus on the ones that are important. I think I can do probably enough undos to go back to the initial sound. Let's see if that works. Ooh, that might be difficult. Can I do it? Oh, we can do so many undos. That's insane. Holy crap. Please let me do it until we're back. I think I went too many undos. Control Shift. Oh, no. Oh, stop. How do I do redo? Control Y. Okay. Yeah, Control Y. Control Y. Right, so what we did is, so you can basically, like, if I go to F minor, from chromatic to minor, what we can actually do is to not have it, like, affect everything that you don't really have to have it affect everything. So we can, for example, turn off the top button notes. You can turn off the button notes, the top notes. We messed up the initial sound or something. Maybe it doesn't have an undo in Serum. So let's do it again. Let's go to F minor. So what we can do is we can just disable all the ones that we don't need. And then we find the main note that we have. For example, it's this one. And then what we can do is we can write a melody. Bum, bum. It's actually jumping up a whole octave. And then... Bum. And then the way we have to do this is we have to actually take this and just kind of offset it a little bit. Offset it like that. And we can go to the sub. And we can start playing some really cool stuff. And then depending on whatever the, depending on the harmonics. Here, for example, we have a... Let's take this out. We have a very, very strong... My God, stop. We have one of these mapped. Is it this one? No, it's not that one. Where is it? Right here. Delete automation. So we just have to find the one that is, that does the most here. So again, we can always kind of, almost always turn off the top ones and the bottom ones because we don't need them. So now we have this A1 and we can just start writing a melody. So, dun, 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 dun. And then go up. Copy this. And then copy this over here as well. And we select everything. hold Shift and hold Alt, and then we can kind of shift it like, let me shift it like that. And we can even turn off even more until it just sounds like fine, right? This is so OP because now we are only doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pitch changes. Everything else is not being changed, but because it doesn't need to. And that's what was kind of like. That's so great. Because if we had everything else on, we would just add so much. That's so much. Because we don't need it. We just need the main harmonics here to do the job, right? We can even compare this. Let's compare this one. Let's turn off everything. Turn on everything that we usually have on. So that's with everything. You can hear those like retuned harmonics that don't quite need. And let's listen to the one that doesn't have the other ones on. So much better. That's insane. So what I would probably recommend everyone to do is to just have everything on at first. Like this. And then just find a cool spot. Just find a cool spot, and then when you like that spot, you can just start disabling. And the top ones here, you can disable any ones in the bottom ones as well. Maybe you can have these one on. And then you start disabling the ones that you don't need. You don't even need that one. Holy crap. And we can do the same thing here. So we can dun and go back up. Bam bam bam. Bam. Select everything. And shift it. Maybe shift it more. Man, that's so dope. I love that. I love that. So much cleaner. This is not like just a fully perfectly repitched sound. We're just focusing on the main ones. And now let's reduce the pitch bend a little bit. Let's do... Cool. Let's also stretch these out a little bit, because I want to have the sub play a little longer. And then obviously you can go back in here and maybe just try and change something. But the thing is, when you go back and change things, the main issue is that obviously now you would have to re-enable everything in here. which is a bit annoying. So what you could have is you could have two retunes, one that just has everything like this, and then you could actually just like check on this. So for example, it still sounds fine. Let's turn this one off. So we have one to check the harmonics, and we have the other one to check everything else. Obviously, if we don't automate anything, we could also just literally redo it, right? Just go to minor, from chromatic to minor. And then start messing around until you find something cool. That sounds great. You can probably turn off the bottom and top ones already. You can have those off anyways, and this will sound good as well. Wow, that sounds so good. You might want to have the second one, the very last one, and probably the top ones here you can turn off. And this sound in general is probably not. You want to have the second one on. The last one, the top two, you can turn off. And then we can start messing around with this again. And obviously we can pitch these around. Let's go up. Really cool stuff. So that way you can, maybe we can even do this on the sustain bass. So like on the sustain bass, we're currently just processing everything. Let's turn off the top ones. Turn on the bottom ones. Turn this one off. Yeah, it kind of works. And with PitchMap, it's probably going to work as well. So we just turn everything else off, right? That doesn't... Ah, cool, we can move it like, move it around like this. PitchMap does do a little bit of a better job here, to be honest. But then again, it also sounds a little bit more like a road spin. Like a little bit like a road. It's really weird. And then probably here as well, we can take PITCHMAP and do the same thing. Wow. I don't even know why it's like putting it. Oh, we're in chromatic. I didn't even realize that. Oh, did this reset? Is it because like damn it. I didn't even realize we were in C chromatic. That's interesting. But it still worked, surprisingly, right? Natural minor. Cool. Really, really cool stuff. Awesome stuff. We just go back to this. And then again, we just mess around until we find something cool. You can also try using NB. You can try using Enduro Relay, for example. Let me mute the other one. And go back to retune, turn these off. So we just gotta take a look at which ones are lighting up, and those are the important ones. That's basically how it goes. The top ones you can always take off. You don't need those. And that sounds pretty good. But yeah, that's kind of how it goes, right? So that's how you do those bases. I guess I deleted the other one because I don't have it anymore. Right? It's gone? Isn't it? Yeah, it's gone. But we can still write probably a singular thing here. Okay, so PITCHMAP always resets. Interesting. But this doesn't reset. That's weird. Let's go down to E. And again, we can do the sub test by just like turning this up. Whoa, what's the sub at? Oh, I don't have any interesting... Okay, we get it. So what if we just start turning off? Oh, so this is like different octaves here. Oh, so this is like, oh, wait, so this is processing this much? Can we change this? Oh, we can just use this then. Oh, so this is just display. Oh, wait. So holy crap. Is PITCHMAP doing this many harmonics here? Oh, that's the sub. That's interesting. So it's doing a whole lot more frequencies, I think, than retune. I believe. I mean, I'm not sure, but I believe so. So and then we can limit it, and this is the part that I meant. Like, we can limit the top end here like a filter. And then we can also limit the bottom end. And then again, that would also mean that when we turn one of these off, it turns it off in every single octave here. So that's a bit annoying. So you can't use it the same way you would use it in retune. Where in retune, we're on an F. Oops. Sorry about that. That's why we I really like retuning this way because it's not like not processing as many frequencies anymore. It's not as resonaty as before. I need to change. Yeah, with PitchMap, sometimes I'm a little lost with this system. A little lost there. So that's a bit of an issue. But then again, like if we would have to go back to minor and then chromatic. So we would find a cool sound first. Like that, for example. Let's get rid of this automation. And then we could go into multipass. First of all, we can already, since now we have the, basically this is like a filter, right? I mean, like a filter, but the frequency spectrum. So this is the lowest point. Hence why we have the sub here that we can change. And then that would mean that we can kind of just turn off the top ones. And that already is going to give us a cleaner sound. But we have these, we should have these ones enabled, and then we can start to mess around with the frequency shifter. Yeah, because the top ones are just going to add that smear because we're obviously processing the top end. That is so cool. Even though when we get that high, I'm trying to find a note where I can actually hit the D there. It's pretty much impossible. Now we are hitting something here. It's in the second part. Still not needed though. Yeah, so that's kind of a little hack here. And then as soon as you're happy with the sound, you can keep turning off certain, and then it's a whole lot cleaner. But then, of course, then it just becomes unusable again if we want to change things. So just enable the ones. Honestly, you could probably use retune just like this. Like we could literally go down. We are in E minor. I do wonder if it's also the case for other things. So, for example, if let's drag in some random bass glitch, for example. Let's do with what should we do? Like a spectral noise, maybe? Let's see what happens if we put that on there. I don't know, let's do like an E minor. Let's take off the top one. Yeah, it's less aggressive. That's really cool. Let's turn it down. Sometimes you can probably leave the E on there, though. Let's try a G. Yeah, look at that. Just listen to it really closely. Turn on the top ones. This is, especially these top ones are what is adding that kind of smear. So might want to just always leave these off, because they're just adding the smear. I mean, it makes sense. Like, the higher you go in the frequency spectrum, and since this is adding smear anyways, we don't really want to process these anyways. That's so interesting. I did not know that. That is so cool. Let's go back in here. That's really interesting. Let's make it a lot more like staccato to see what the release is like. Oh, release is really nice now. What if we take off all of them? Oh, see, so you're actually taking off some of the processing as well. Bro, I just discovered something completely new about this. This is crazy. That is so cool. And it makes sense, honestly. It makes a lot of sense. You might even be able to take this one off as well. Let's see. You might want to leave that one on, though. Oh, and then I think if you turned on the sensitivity, it's going to make some of these actually just like not do anything. Oh, and oh shit. Okay. So that's why the sensitivity on 0 actually sounds. Look at this. I want to show you this. If we go to 5 instrument rack and we record it. Look at the amount of smearing we got, right? If we turn this up, we actually end up probably with the same amount, but it's a bit different. Now, when we turn these off, we can just turn these off. And okay, I want to actually like compare these two. 1 second. So let's record this one. Let's have this one be a little bit lower. Let's turn on the sensitivity. And then let's turn these off. These ones. We have this one on as well. So let's check out the amount of smearing that's happening. Actually looks quite similar now. Are we not recording from it? So the smearing is the same. It seems like if you have the sensitivity up, it's a little less. Yeah, then the smearing is kind of less. So probably having the smearing up is the sensitivity up all the way is results in the least amount of transient smearing. But then if we had these on, let's compare this. Put this one to the bottom. Turn these off. Because that would mean that these are like unaffected now, right? I think there's more smearing here. Let's turn both of these up. Let's see. Looks pretty similar, but sounds similar. Different. Let's hear it. Or did we just record the same one? Did I not record the other one? Oh, it sounds different. Yeah, this one has more of a like resonator kind of release. This one still has a bit of detune kind of nature to it. I think the third one, you should probably have that one on as well. It's really dependent on the sound. As soon as you have something... In this case, it did detect something at D. So that's a bit annoying. And then PitchMap is doing its own thing. I don't understand. Oh wait, is this like individual? Interesting. There is one note that doesn't work. Oh, it's this E note here. Oh no, wait. It's just this first E. But then that's just kind of working against what we've been like experiencing. Ah, fucking hell. You might as well just do the filter thing again. Because this might still be on spectrum. Like, retune might still be doing the whole frequency spectrum. I'm guessing. But it's still cool that in a lot of other bases you can do this, that you can just kind of... And you can just turn off the D note here. Oh wait, are we even in the right key? Oh, we are in G. When were we in G? What the hell? That might have explained it. That might have explained why it wasn't why it was on D here. Actually, no. If G is still inside the key, then it should still be fine. Damn it. It definitely sounds a lot cleaner when those are off. The less processing you have here, the less smeary it's gonna sound. Yeah, so, and it sounds actually a little bit more natural when you turn some of them off, and you just get a much more natural sound. Hello, Mackie. So we just figured out, while messing around with PitchMap and Retune, that turning off some of these points here, for example, if you have it like this is basically like your frequency spectrum of sorts, right? But you can kind of just take off the Ds up here, like the highest notes you can kind of just take off, and you can closely take a look at the ones that you don't really need, to process. As you can see, the ones that are stronger light up, and the ones that don't, you can just turn off. And so we end up with less amounts of repitching, and therefore a less smeary sound as well. I guess Retune is working like PitchMap's repeat mode, in that you only have to edit 1 octave and it applies copies of... Yeah, exactly. So that's probably what's happening. So that's why it's like this is still processing the high end, right? That's why I like using NBP rack, so that doesn't happen. So you can just add NBP rack. So we could literally have it like this. So we don't have to worry about that stuff because it doesn't get that kind of information anyways. But we can still clean it up. I don't know if it's going to work for obviously for other... Yeah, I think then it'll start breaking on other notes. That might just be the... Let's try a different one. Interesting stuff. It's still like almost always turning these off just kind of results in a cleaner sound though. No matter the note that you're playing. You can also try making a sound that is very heavy on tonality. So I'm going to try and use Entrada here. And I'm going to try and see if we can... I'm going to try and see what Retune can do with this without the filtering. Yeah, for example, here it's catching a D note. Because we have an extremely, like, strong tonality, right? What the hell happened here? But then again, with PitchMap, if we go back down to E minor, I was confused which ones. There we go. We could technically use this as a filter. Now we can mess around. It also definitely detects different harmonics differently, it seems. I really like the sound of PitchMap though. I definitely do like it though. Let's do... Let's do that. I just want to take a look at how much smearing is happening. Just record another one. So this is PitchMap, and then we need retune. So let's see. Oh, this has a stuff on it. It actually looks like... It looks like retune might have even more smearing than PitchMap. But honestly, both look like they have a very similar amount. I do definitely like how PitchMap is processing the delay though. It sounds a lot cleaner. And with the filter here, I'm still not entirely sure why it's even repitching certain harmonics differently. Like, that's confusing me a bit, because I think the setup here is the same, right? We can even check. Let's check the actual notes here. So let's try to replicate what retune is doing. So we are starting from E, so it's right here. We have two notes. Here we actually have this is the same, okay. Then we go up two, and then we have three notes. That's correct. Ah, look at this. So then we go up two notes, and then this one has to go down here. And then we go up and up. Still sounds different. It does sound different. And we are in natural minor. How's that happening? Hey, loved your set at Rampage. Glad you are back streaming and keep being inspirational. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Not sure why the donation didn't even come through in Streamlabs. I need to probably just switch to Streamlabs. I just need to switch to OBS at this point. Oh. There we go. Thank you very much for the donation, Porter Steel. I appreciate it. Glad you like the set. I try to add a bunch of like melodic stuff in there and almost IDs only. So that was super fun. Glad you like my stuff. Thank you very much. I'm still confused, though, as to why this sounds different. You can also just choose visible as the edit mode. So your currently focused editing area actually gets retuned. Ah, I see. So visible. So that's then. And so we can just get rid of this and then. Yeah, you're right. Doesn't look like it's doing everything still though. I still don't get why they sound different though. Could be the remapping mode. Sounds more like that. But we did follow the way this remapping is working, right? So we have, wait, C, D. Oh, wait, why are there notes on D? That's correct. Okay, that's correct. So we have E with 2 notes, 3, wait. Yeah, 3, 2, 3, 2. So that's correct, but they sound different. So is PitchMap maybe just more accurate at that, in that case? Could be, right? Man, you can get so much cool shit. Oh, wait, both are on right now. We're playing E. I actually really like the sound of PitchMap. I gotta say. I might have to hit them up. But that kind of concludes it. I would say both are good. Sometimes PitchMap sounds better. Sometimes Retune sounds better. Having both is not really a possibility for most people. I think you can still get a lot out of Retune when you start disabling some of these and the process isn't as smeary as with all of them on. But other than that, yeah, I mean, I might just look at getting into PitchMap at this point, because this feature right here kind of eliminates the use for NBP rack. And on top of that, not using too much Purify and then actually having like a smart mapping happen. And there's another fucking bot here. Okay. Remove. Let's go hide user on this channel. And put user on timeout. How many times? But yeah, I think that concludes it. So with that being said, I think we should conclude the stream. That was really fun though. And other than that, go stream Take on the World. It's up on all platforms, especially SoundCloud. And I hope you guys enjoy the new sample pack. And other than that, I might see you again next Friday. You guys have a great weekend. Sweet. Goodbye. 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 Bye-bye.